यस्यात्म भूतस्य गुरु प्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात् सर्वोपदेष्टु पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्याङ्ग्रे पद्मप्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् प्रह्लाद नारद पराशर पुण्डरीक व्यासामृष सुख सौनक भीष्म दल्व्यान् रुक्मान्ग उदव विष्ण पल्गुनादीन् पुण्यान् इमान् परम भागवतं नमामि जन्मादि अस्य यतो अन्वयाद् इतरस्या अद्या अभिज्ञास्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदय आदिहवये मुह्यन्ति यः सूरयः तेजो वारिमृतां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकोऽहं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् वासुदेव परा वेदा वासुदेव परामकाः वासुदेव परा योगो वासुदेव परा क्रियाः वासुदेव परज्ञानं वासुदेव परं तपः वासुदेव परो धर्म वासुदेव परा गतिः कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपापप्रणाशनं प्रणामदुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to our Bhagavatam, Saturday Bhagavatam session. We are on the 8th canto. There are 12 cantos in total. Um, right now, we are on the 8th canto. We completed the first story on Gajendra Moksha. Then, a week before, we saw the pastime of Kurma Avatara, where the churning of ocean happened. And in that, we learned a lot of nice information that we can apply in our life. Um, some of the things, just to recap, is as we are working on some things, especially when we are working on a spiritual uh, goal, we might be getting certain secondary or benefits in the name of position, in the name of fame, in the name of prestige, followers, any of those things. So one should be very careful not to get attracted to any of these things, but take those things as a service, even in spite people praise or get a position, whatever it is. It's just do everything as a service because we all know these things are temporary as things might change. Therefore, the goal is therefore, we should have a clear understanding when it's come to our practices that we are in a place, in a temporary place. So, this is not my place where I'm going to be enjoying forever this position, this name, the followers, the material benefits that we get. Uh, we're not going to be having any of this thing in long, in an eternal period time. So it's a temporary. As long as I live, I get all these things, but use everything in Krishna's service. But the goal is to get Krishna, attain Krishna. So we learned that primary important message from this story that we saw, where the devatas, while they were they were churning the Milky Ocean, they were getting a lot of things. Some of those things were given as a gift to them. They took it. Some of them they just let it go or give it to whomever they wanted to. So finally, they got what they really need. And the very first thing was frustration. They got a lot of frustration while they're doing it because they were not getting what they wanted. It was the opposite of what they wanted. The poison was coming out, and they were trying for many years, but then nothing was coming out. But they didn't give the hope because they had the faith. They had complete faith in Krishna's word, because Krishna is the one who told them, Vishnu is the one who told them that you do this one by churning, you will get something and you can be happy. So they had the faith in that word that they received. Sometimes we also in our life, when we are practicing spirituality, we might get into some unexpected events in our life. Uh, but then we should have faith in the words of Guru, in the words of Krishna, in the words of the scriptures. um, when we have that faith, in spite of having this different negative or opposite events in our life, we will move on. That is what we also learned from this episode. Is there anything else that anyone wants to share? Any other points that you felt was a key message that you liked and you wanted to apply? Anyone want to share some points from the story that we saw?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
I like the point when the Lakshmi Devi appeared and he she married um, Lord Vishnu.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another thing we learned. Thank you. Any other key messages for our life that you felt uh, pr- uh, prominent, important?
Prabhuji,
Yes. Is that Anirudh?
yes. We
Okay.
all have problems that we have to surrender to Krishna.
Yeah, you always have the ultima. You always give the perfect answer. Okay. Thank you,
And
Anirudh. Yes. Next. Go ahead. You want to go and say something? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you. So, with that said, we will continue. We are getting into the ninth chapter in the eighth canto. So, what happened where we left was the as they were churning, finally it came a very, very, very amazing personality, and then he came with a pot in his hand, and then as soon as he appeared in front to give it, so the demons, the asuras, they grabbed it and then just ran away. They were running. So as usual, the devatas were wondering what's happening. We walk together, they can't do this one. Um, how can they take and go away? Sort of. They were just thinking like that. So I was just remembering a joke where two brothers were sitting and eating on, and then the mother comes and gives two piece of pizzas. She keeps on the table. Two brothers are sitting on the opposite side. The mother keeps two pieces of pizza. One pizza was smaller in size to the other one. Immediately, the one of the brother, just name it whatever whoever you want to name it, two brothers, all right, say Anirudh and then Pradyumna, two brothers. So Pradyumna immediately grabbed the big size, right, big size, and then Anirudh was asking, "This is not manners. You don't have a proper manners. You can't be doing this one. Um, this is not nice etiquette to grab like that and take the big piece like that." And then Pradyumna asked Anirudh that, well, if you've been given a chance, which piece do you take first? And then Anirudh, being a very gentleman, our Anirudh over here is being a very nice, pious, gentle person. He said, I will go for the smaller piece. Then Pradyumna said, what's your problem then? You're getting a smaller piece anyway. I took the big piece. So why are you screaming? Right? Like that. Here, the Devatas were thinking, oh, how can they do this one? They grabbed and went and ran away, sort of thing. But then what would you do if you given a chance? They didn't wait, they grabbed it. You would have done the same thing too. Devatas would have done the same thing too. Their intention is to take the whole thing and not to give anything, right? So sometimes we have the view always, sometimes we always think that, you know, and others are doing mistakes, others are wrong, and I'm perfectly all right, right? But then we have to ask a question internally within ourselves. Is our intention or pure? Am I really having a pure intention, or I have some other motive behind it? So just another point to remember in this way, that devatas were now helpless. They were thinking what to do. How can we? Someone has. We have to reach out to some help here. Obviously, they again reached out to Vishnu, and then Vishnu said, "Do not worry about it. So I'll take care of this one, and you will get what you need to get." Then that is when another avatar happens. That's the Lord appears as Mohini Murti. That's called Mohini Murti. A beautiful. He takes a form of a very very charming, beautiful young woman, a lady form. So she was so attractive, so beautiful. Even our glance would, flatten anyone. So she was with this charming look and smile and walk and all those things. She was going, and then the demons, they saw, and they got attracted to this beautiful woman. They they were having the pot in their hand, right? They were going to take and finish it off. But then, as soon as they saw this beautiful lady, young lady, they forgot about this nectar that they had in their hand. Then they were thinking, oh my God, if at all she becomes my wife, the purpose of my life is, achieved. That's the ultimate goal in my, I would have been achieved the best of everything. So the demons, they went and spoke to, oh beautiful one, you have such a beautiful eyes and wonderful lips, and they started just, you know explaining and details of telling that you look so wonderful. That's a point here. I don't want to get into the details of how they speak and what they speak, but they were just using all the flowery languages, because they don't know what they even speaking. They're completely captivated by the beauty of this, extraordinary beauty of this young lady, who's none other than Vishnu himself, who has taken this nice form. And then they said, we are completely surrendered to you. Please, you choose one among us and make us one of us your husband. And then this lady, Krishna, of course, was telling, I'm an ordinary woman. I have nothing special about me. But if you wish, then I see that you have this some pot in your hand. You're all fighting together. Who's going to take first, and etc. So if you want, I can help you to divide and give this thing to everyone. So would you want to give this pot to me? And then this asuras, they didn't even know what they are doing, because they have completely gone into the beauty of this girl. So no, they're just like a puppet. They become a puppet in the hands of this girl. They said, whatever you want, we will do it. Whatever you want, you decide how to give, what to give, and we are surrendered. Yeah, don't worry, I will do a best job for you, and do not worry about it. So I will make sure that you all get equally. Okay, you all get equally. So devatas will also get, the demons will also get. There won't be any fight. So I'll make sure everyone is happy at the end. And but before I start giving, you please go take bath, because this is not an ordinary some Schnucks bought or Walmart bought some juice. It is a divine drink, nectar. So you have to respect it. So please go take your bath, and then clean yourself, do some charity to the brahmanas, and then come back, sit in the order. Everyone has to sit in the proper way, and then I'll start distributing this nectar to everyone. And they just obeyed whatever Mohini Murti said. They went and took a bath, and then did distributed the charity, and finally they came and sat. Mm. So this was followed even by asuras. Mm. When you're trying to do any good activities, a charity, or going to the temple, or any of those things, we have to make sure we cleanse our external body first. We have to clean ourselves. Sometimes people go to the temple without taking showers. Sometimes people do so many other activities without taking shower. That's all not very good. So one has to do these things. So they were all they were ready. They did everything, and they came sat in the sequence. Now everyone was seated. Okay. So Mohini Muti started distributing the nectar, the pot which has this nectar, glancing and smiling at the asuras. And then she started smiling at the asuras with sweet smile and all those things, and but started giving to the devatas. The devatas understood who this. They know who this is, so they started drinking. But asuras were all looking at her beauty, and they don't know what was going on there. And but then slowly, the nectar was been given to these devatas. But one of that asura, who's quite smart, he understood something is not right here, something else is going on. So he thought that, well, I can't wait any further until my chance comes over here. So what he did, his name was Rahu. So he changed his form like a devata and went and sat in between the sun and moon. These are sun is the sun god, moon is a moon god, right? Every everything in spirituality is a personality. Everything that it's not just matter. Everything is a personality. That's why when you see in a Indian tradition, if by mistake someone's feet touches something, they immediately touch and ask for forgiveness. It doesn't matter whether it's a living entity or a non-living entity, because everything has to be respected. It's just not only living entity has to be respected, even the everything, even the objects has to be respected. So um, Rahu, uh, Rahu went and he disguised himself, and he went and sat between the sun god and moon god. He sat in between. So the chances, as the nectar was being passed one after another, and then it came to Rahu. Rahu also got a little, and then he also drank. Immediately, the sun and the moon were sitting next to each other. They recognized, aha, this is Asura. Rahu has been here. They spotted him. They understood that this is something is going on here, and they immediately told to Mohini Murti, and she took a disc and then chopped off the head of the Rahu. Rahu lost his head. But then, since he already drank a little bit, he also became immortal. Therefore, Brahma gave him a position as to be one of the planet. So after this, all the devatas all drank. Once that's all done, then the Mohini Murti showed her original form, that she just came here to do this particular thing, and she disappeared. Vishnu disappeared. And after this thing happened, the demons, the asuras, again they got really violent. They were very unhappy with whatever happened. They again called for. There was again fight between the devatas and then asuras. The fight was going on too heavy. Many people got killed. Many people were died in the asuras side. But then asura's guru Sukracharya, who has a power of bringing back life to the dead ones, he was doing that also. But nevertheless, the fight was not stopping. It was going to the extreme that Indra went and started killing, pretty much destroying the asuras, entire the asura, the whole family, the asuras group. But then Brahma came and they all requested and told Indra to stop fighting, put an end to all this one. Then, on the request of that, Indra also stopped his war. He stopped fighting. Then this message of Mohini Murti. that how Lord appeared as a beautiful woman and came and attracted the mind of the devatas, I mean the asuras, and helped the devatas. This story, this message went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was with Uma, his wife, Parvati Devi. So he was there. When he heard this entire thing, he got very, very interested that he wants to see that particular form of Vishnu as Mohini Murti. So he, with his wife, Uma, they went and approached and prayed to the Lord. They requested, there's a beautiful prayer is in the Bhagavatam, how Lord Shiva praises Vishnu in the 12th chapter of Bhagavatam in this canto. And then he requested, my dear Lord, I request you to kindly show me that particular form which you showed for the Devatas and the Asuras. It's like, how Arjuna was asking in Bhagavad Gita, we see that in the 10th, after the 10th, in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna asked, my dear Lord, you explained about your opulences, unlimited opulences. I want to see you with all these opulences. Can you show yourself? I want to see this, right? Likewise, Lord Shiva was also interested to see, I want to see you. I want to see you in that particular form. Could you please show yourself? And then Narayana, to fulfill his devotee's desire, then he showed the Mohini Murti form. As soon as Lord Shiva saw the Mohini Murti form, he was completely out of control. He was just going behind Mohini Murti, want to, capture her, hold her. So this is all beautiful pastime between, Supreme Lord and Lord Shiva. So the message is meant to say that the Supreme Lord can bewilder even such a great personality like Lord Shiva. Then what to speak about asuras and what to speak about people like us? We are nowhere, right? So that's a point to learn from here. But um, as this thing happened, and then finally, uh, Lord the Lord left the spot, and he went, um, leaving Lord Shiva, and Shiva went back to Kailash with his wife. So that is the end of chapter 12. And what's going to begin after this is another beautiful story, another beautiful avatar that's coming up. Very cute, very charming avatar, right? In this one canto, so far what we have seen is Kurma avatar, the tortoise form, and Dhanvantari. We also saw Mohini Murti, and another one that we are going to see now is, guess who? Is very very short, very small.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
Prabhuji, I think it's Vamana.
yeah, very good, Rukmini. It is Vamana. It's Vamana Avatar, is what we are going to see now. It's a beautiful another episode that we are going to see. Bali Maharaj, who was the king of all the Asuras, he now lost everything. So, but then by his guru's advice, then he got his power by serving the Brahmanas and doing charity and so forth. So in those, not those days, especially in those days, if someone wants to get progress in their life, even it is materially, what they do is more of charity. Okay, so that's an important message that we learn even from asuras. If you want to even, this is a different phase of what I'm trying to say here. Even if someone is interested to progress materially in their material life, the way that shastras advising is to do more of charity, dhana. Unless and until you give, we are not going to get anything out of it, right? That we can learn from Bali Maharaj. So by his guru's advice, Shukracharya's advice, he told you need to do more of charity to Brahmanas, to pious people. By doing these things, you will become more powerful. And that is the advice that Bali Maharaj takes. and he strictly follows that particular advice. And by doing so, what happened was he was becoming really, really powerful, very powerful. And then again, he was able to, fight with Indras and the troop and then chase them away. And that time, this time, he chased everyone away. He took over all the planetary system. And at point of time, Aditi, who's mother of Devatas, it's quite interesting that both Asuras and Devatas, they're they are the same father, Kashyapa. It's the same father, but the mothers are different. The mother of Devatas are Aditi, therefore they are called Adityas. And then the mother of the Asuras are Diti, therefore they are called Daityas. Daityas. So it's the same father, different mother, and they are fighting with each other. This is nothing to be surprised about because even within the same mother, brothers and sisters are fighting, right? We all hear so many stories. Yeah, they all fight for their properties, especially they want to. So many things happens within the same family, same father, same mother. Then there won't be any surprise to think about different mothers, right? There's no problem in understanding this particular thing. So they are fighting. They just have this enmity between each other. They were fighting. So they took over everything. And at that point of time, they don't know what to do. And that's when they again approach the Lord. Um, and Aditi, who was the wife of Kashyapa, she was feeling miserable that our children has been the kingdom of their children, everything has been taken away by Asuras, and she didn't know what to do. Therefore, she approached her husband Kashyapa, and the Kashyapa told her, "Okay, you will have a child who will save your children and take care of everything." So he gives a program, that program to be followed. And if you follow this program, then you will get a son. And that son will take care of getting you recovering the kingdom that your children have lost. And Aditi very strictly followed that one. And the Supreme Lord, he himself appeared as son of Aditi under the Vamana. He was so small but very cute. He was so effulgent in his look. So this is what we are going to see in we're going to see more in detail about this particular story in our next session. At this point, I'm just going to detour from our regular session of Srimad Bhagavatam, and we'll continue Vamana because it's a lot more to learn from this Vamana story. So we're going to continue the Vamana story in the next class. But I want to jump to another topic altogether with your permission. That is, today starting today is Dhamodar month, meaning also known as Kartik month. And this month is considered as holiest of all the month, very special month. And on this month, the devotees of Krishna, they take some vows from restraining from certain things or increasing certain things, meaning they increase their spiritual practices. If someone is chanting 1 round, they might commit, for this month I'll chant 4 rounds. If someone is having a habit of reading Bhagavad Gita a chapter every day, they will say, let me read one more chapter. I will start increasing by hearing every day Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, or reading any of this different. They increase their standards of what they are following. Right? If they are not following anything, it's a good place to start. This month is a good place to start practicing, right? Um, or another thing is, along with this one, another thing one can do is restraining from certain things, eating or getting away from some comforts that we have in our life. So reducing our comfort level. So that's another thing we can do. We can do both together, or we can do one of the other, but keeping Krishna as the in the center. The idea is to develop that bhakti. So this month is a special month where we do any of those spiritual activities around Krishna, then it is like a boost, and gives a special spiritual energy and power for us, so we can continue for rest of the years and months and years to come. So with that said, I'm going to tell a story for which you have heard several times from me or from others as well, but it is important we here to level set our mind so that we are ready for this today's and coming up rest of this month. So are you all ready to hear Damodar Leela story? You already might have known. Is anyone want doesn't know the story? I guess everyone knows the story, right? Okay, Greg doesn't know the story. So, what happened was Krishna, when he was, any other children are here? I heard Rukmini speaking, Anirudh speaking. Anyone else here? Any other children besides them? No other kids? Okay. All right. So that puts me to tell the story. Anirudh and Rukmini, you both can help me if I say something wrong here. Okay? You're going to monitor my story, right? So Krishna, um, and in when he was a young small child, so at that point of time he was happy having drinking milk from his mother. Breastfeeding was going on, and that point of time, while she was feeding Krishna, suddenly Mother Yashoda saw that the milk she that's kept in the kitchen was boiling. Right? So she wanted to attend to take care of that boiling milk. So she left Krishna on side, and she went to take care of the milk. But then Krishna was not very happy. Right, Anirudh? Rukmini?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
So you both want to tell the story rather than me telling? You both can tell a little bit, little. Anirudh, start.
Well, I don't know the story, Prabhuji.
Okay, that's fine. Rukmini, you want to tell a little bit?
Yes. So, so Krishna, um, so did Krishna take a stone and hit the one pot and ate it. Then mm, Yashoda came and she saw Krishna wasn't there, so she started looking for Krishna, and and he and she finally saw Krishna, and she um, binded Krishna in a rope.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So what happened was Krishna was not happy that I'm going to repeat what you said, so it's audible to everyone. So Krishna was not happy with what happened. Therefore, he was upset. He broke the pots around, and he just made the entire place messy. And when Yashoda came back, when she saw this has happened, she was quite angry, upset. Right? So she was trying to find where Krishna was, and then she was trying. Finally, she could locate where Krishna was, and then she was trying to catch hold of Krishna, and Krishna was running, and Yashoda was running, and the running program was going on and on and on and on and on and on, and Yashoda was not able to catch Krishna, and finally Krishna saw that. Let me bring up this presentation, which is what we are going to start singing now, um, shortly. So Yashoda here. Okay, well that's fine. So Yashoda was Yashoda was chasing. Finally, Krishna understood that he shouldn't trouble his mother, and therefore he made himself available. He made himself to be caught by Yashoda. Yashoda caught hold of Krishna and tied him with a rope. She tied him with the rope and tied it to a grinding mortar, and that is what happened. And then Krishna dragged and crawled with that mortar, the grinding mortar, and went in between of two trees and pulled against a tree, and these two trees broke open. And these two trees were none other than Manigrava and Nalakuvera, two Gandharvas, and they've been cursed by Narada Muni to be born as a tree because they misbehaved in front of Narada Muni in their previous life. Therefore, Narada Muni cursed these two to become like a tree. And by the mercy of Krishna, now their curse was released and they prayed to Krishna and then they went back. And this particular pastime is called Damodar Leela. Damodar Leela. And this Leela has been beautifully composed. Satyavrata Muni, a great rishi, and that is what is we usually sing every day in this month. So what we all can do is I'm having Shivangi Mataji to do the kirtan. Did she join?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm here.
Okay, so she is going to lead the kirtan, and the idea is you all can also every day at your home, please recite this sloka because we only meet once in a week. So you all can read this sloka, try to hear to this sloka. We'll send you the links to this the song as well as this the material. And what you can do is you can light a ghee lamp, a ghee lamp. If you say that you don't know where to get ghee and you don't know, at least some lighting of a candle or something. Ideally, ghee lamp will be the best if you can do it. So offer it to Krishna's picture and try to sing this song. And this happens for rest of this month, end of this November. So with that said, um, we'll go ahead and do the kirtan, and then each one of you can read the translation at the end after we finish this kirtan, and then we'll open up for any question and answer for general question and answer for the session, and we'll close today. And then the next class we'll continue our regular, continue our Bhagavatam. But every Saturday, 15 minutes we will do the kirtan, Damodar Ashtakam, last 15 minutes. With that said, let's go ahead and start the Damodar Ashtakam.
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोदाभियोलुकलाभवमानम् परं दृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृतगोप्या
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानम् यशोधाभियोलोकराधवमानम् परं दृश्यम् आद्यं ततो धृतगोप्य. Everyone can sing. You can join after Mataji finishes. Okay, sorry.
रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रं युग्ममृजन्तम् करं भोजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुःश्वासकम्पत्रिरेखाङ्ककण्ठ सीतग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिपदम् रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयोममृजान्तम्
श्रीतागल्पं दामोदरं भक्तिभादम्
इति दृक्ष्वलीलाधीरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषितगीषु भक्तिर्जितत्वम् पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे
लीलाभिरानन्दकन्दे
ज्ञापयन्तम् अदेशेषु भक्तिवितात्वम् पूर्णा प्रेमतस्संसतावृत्तिवन्दे
वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षवधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरेशदपीह इदं तेव पूर्णाथ गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्याविरास्तं किमन्ये
परं देवमोक्षं न
मोक्षबधिं
मोक्षाम्यं वृणेऽहं वदिष्यदपीहा
इदं देव
गोपालबालम् सदा मे
इदं ते मुखाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तश्च गोप्या मुहुःशुम्भितं बिम्बारक्ताधरं मे मनस्याविरास्तम् अलं लक्षलाभे
वृतं कुण्डलैर्निकरैश्च गोप्य
कुम्भीतां बिम्बिसाधरा मनस्याभिरातम् आलं लक्षलाभे
नमो देव दामोदर अनंत विष्णु प्रसिद्ध प्रभो दुःख जलधिमग्नम् कृपा दृष्टि वृष्यति दिनं वदानो गृहाणेश मामज्ञामे दक्षिदृश्या
नमो
नमो देवताविष्णु
प्रसीद प्रभो
जलाभिमानो
कृपादृष्टिविनं वदनु गृहाणि
समाज्ञाम् एवाप्यः
कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यद्वान् त्वया मोचितो भक्ति भजकृतो च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं च कमे प्रयाच नमो शीघ्रभो मे स्थिदामुदरेह
कुबेरात्मजो बद्धमूर्तैव यथा त्वया मोचितो भक्ति भजो कृतो
तदा
प्रेम भक्ति स्वकमे प्रियता नमो
नमो
ग्रहो
मे
नमस्ते स्तुताम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिधाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य धाम्ने नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तोभ्यम्
नमस्ते धाम्ने
मे स्फुरति
धाम्ने विश्वधाम्ने नमो राधिकाय प्रियाय नमो नीलाय वैष्णव्याम्
नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तोभ्यम् नमो राधिकाय त्वदीय प्रियाय
नमो
नमो नीलाय
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे 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 राम हरे
हरे राम
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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
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 राम
राम
हरे
हरे
राम
राम राम
हरे
हरे
Thank you, Mataji. I'm sorry, and we'll make the presentation better. I think there's some problem with the slides that has been shared. Um, but we can do the translation as well next time. But we'll send you the song in our WhatsApp group so you all can have it and do this every day. With that said, any questions?
Prabhu, I have a translation I can share if you want to read.
Yeah, if you can share, that'd be nice. Please go ahead, share the translation.
Babaji,
1 second, before you ask question, let's finish the translation. So everyone can, volunteer to read one of the one translation, each one.
I'll start. To the Supreme Controller who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening hearing swing to and fro, who manifests himself in Golaka, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
I'll read next. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodara, I offer my humble obeisances.
I will volunteer. Those super excellent pastime of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokul in pool of ecstasy to the devotees who are attracted only to his majesty, aspect of Narayan in Vaikund, the Lord here revealed, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion to the Supreme Lord Damodar by my obeisance hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature of Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart.
O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind.
O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in the ocean of sorrow, and I am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me, uplift me, and protect me with your nectarian vision.
O Lord, the mother in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to the grinding stone with a rope for untying cows. You then freed the sons of Kavera, Manigriva, and Nalkavera, who were cursed to stand as trees. You gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. I have no desire for liberation into your fulgence.
O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your dome, which was bound by the rope of Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisance. I offer my obeisance to you, most beloved Sri Radha Rani, and your unlimited pastimes.
Shri Radha, Radha Damodar ki jai.
हाँ बंद कर दो बंद कर दो
Yeah, thank you all very much. So we can open up for any discussions or questions now.
Prabhuji, Prabhuji,
Yeah,
I have a question.
yes.
So is the Asura's mother a bad?
For Asuras, Asuras mothers is not bad. Okay,
Okay,
you got the answer or no?
not yet because I was telling that for Asura's mothers aren't bad, but usually what Asura's mothers are bad.
In short, they are not bad. Okay, they are just showing because they got Asuras as their children doesn't mean that they are bad. Okay, so that's a short answer. She is good. Diti is also good. Aditi is also good. But they're doing their as a mother. They're just showing their love to their respective children. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Prabhu, there is a question in the chat.
And also Rukmini, another point to add is it's very hard for us to. Are you hearing?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm here.
Yeah, there's another, because you brought up this question, I want to mention an additional point that it is very hard for us to decide who is bad and who is good. Okay. So sometimes we might think the other person is bad, and unless and until you really talk to that person, unless and until you know that person, it's very hard to decide that whether that person is bad or good. So it's better we don't make that call or judgment and decide that this person is bad, that person is good. So rather we try to work on ourselves to see how best, how how good we can become. Make sense?
Makes sense, Prabhu.
So that we have to see good in others, not bad in others.
Okay, my question is gone, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, there's another question in the chat. We started today's session discussing the churning of the sea. Can you please explain any spiritual lesson we are to learn from why Lord Shiva drank the poison? I do not understand why he did this. Okay, so Lord Shiva did this to as a service to save everyone. So for some there are different types of personalities people we see in this world. That one the first level is they don't want to help anyone at all. They are very concerned about their own self, not even their family members. Am I eating well? Am I sleeping well? I'm being taken care well, etc. They're only concerned about their own self. The next level is not only me, my family members, my wife, my husband, my children, are they happy is the second level. Another level is extended, my not only my family members, my relatives, my society, my extended family, are they happy? And another level is not only my blood related family should be happy and I should be happy, even my society where I'm living, the extended that means that the friends and etc. are they happy? They think like that. Next one. And it goes further is my nation. I'm an American, America. I'm concerned about the American citizen. I'm an Indian, therefore the Indian should be taken care. I am so and so, right? So we are growing now. We are thinking on the national level, and then we go beyond to that point where we start thinking on global level, right? Globally, it's not for my only for my satisfaction. The whole world should be happy. I also should be happy, and the world should also be happy. And there's something beyond to this one. Whether I am happy or not, everyone else should be happy. That's considered to be the topmost sacrifice that one can do for others. It doesn't matter for me. Even if I go to hell, others should be happy. Even if I die, let others live. Right? So this is to exhibit this particular quality has been exhibited by Lord Shiva. Not that he's going to die by eating poison. He's a very great personality. Only he can do that. By drinking poison, he not that he still survive because he's not an ordinary personality, Lord Shiva. Therefore, he can drink. Number one is the lesson that we learn from that is paradukka dukhi means others should not suffer. If anyone else suffer, it's a pain for me. So I want to help others. In the process of helping, if I have to suffer, let me suffer. That's number one lesson. Number two lesson is where Lord Shiva can exhibit such a great act by drinking the poison. Sometimes we all think that we are also God. So from this, we can understand if anyone is saying, I am also God, well, Lord Shiva drank poison. Would you be able to take a spoon of poison? We cannot. Or if you are God, then can you lift the mountain of Govardhan like Krishna lifted the mountain, Govardhan mountain? Can you lift? We cannot. Therefore, this is another thing. Only certain personality can exhibit such great activities, which common man cannot do it. So, in other words, we are not great. We are common and ordinary people. They are all great. Hope that helps. The lessons that we learned from Lord. Okay, thank you.
Prabhu, question.
Yes, Srinivas.
So you said the Rahu sat between the sun god and the moon god, right? I thought Rahu and Ketu both did it. Only Rahu did it, not the Ketu.
Yeah. Therefore, whatever cut off, that becomes the second of as another planet, Ketu.
Okay. So the one person became two.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's different versions of this one. One
Okay.
version is that, yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you very much for your nice lecture, Prabhu. I have one quick question on Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. Is it okay to ask here, Prabhu?
I'm very happy someone is asking from Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, and the recent slokas, I mean, like you mentioned, like there are three types of devotees, right? Aishwaryadis, Kaivalyadis, and Bahulavadis.
Yes.
So for Aishwaryadis, they have to, I mean, like focus the god on between the eyebrows. For Kaivalyadis, they can focus on in heart of the people. I mean, like the people. For Bahulavadis, so where do they have to focus, Prabhu? So is there any specific location? Prescribed in Bhagavad Gita or any, I mean, like you can suggest us.
Ananya Chinta Bhakti, Ananya Bhakti, Krishna mentions in the following sloka. I'm maybe you're still catching up with that thing, but we covered this one. Ananya
Okay.
Bhakti for the bhaktas, for the
Mhm.
devotee, they don't need to focus on top of the head or the heart or anything. Because why? Their full
Mhm.
existence, their consciousness is always thinking about Krishna. There's nothing
Okay.
that specifically they have to practice,
Okay.
and that there's no any mention of where to meditate, where to bring the prana. None of those things are necessary or needed for devotees, because they're always in Krishna consciousness, always thinking about Krishna.
But in our case, I mean, like we are not. I mean, like in my case, I think like we are not completely fully. I mean, like focused. I mean, like not a complete, fully devoted person like Prabhu. So in that case, where do we have to focus? Maybe. I mean,
Focus on the guru's instruction.
okay.
That's all we have to do, because we ourselves cannot do anything. Even if we are given a method of where to focus, do you think we can
Mhm.
focus in between here or in between here or in between there? We cannot do it. Therefore, what we simply have to do is follow the instructions of the guru,
Mhm.
your guru, and then that becomes a meditative a point. That is what is going to help us to get out, nothing else.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
So, for one more time, we are not the great devotees. Therefore, how do we? What do we do it? That was your question. The answer
Yes,
is
Prabhu.
that the answer is that is why we accept our disqualification, that I cannot do this one myself, and therefore I'm taking shelter of a guru, and by the grace of guru, I can attain Krishna.
Okay.
It is not because of my qualification. By the parampara, guru parampara, I'll be able to go back to Krishna. That's the only hope we all have. Otherwise, none of us can say ourselves as a perfect pakka devotee, and we'll be able to go. We are not able to. We won't be able to say that. It is only
Thank you
by
very
the
much,
grace
Prabhu.
of Guru Parampara. Anyone else from Bhagavad Gita, if anyone is listening? Because someone was saying that there's no option to ask questions in that group. So we specifically disabled that because people started forwarding things and saying good morning, Hare Krishna, and all those things. We want to keep that noise low. That's why we disabled that option. So here we can ask questions. Kiranji, Kuntiji, you're all still there? Lavlina ji, anyone else?
Prabhu, you want to say something about the YouTube channel?
Sure. So um, we have started this. We started this YouTube channel. One of our friends who wanted to do this as a service. He started this one, and started over last week, I think. And every day, the same Bhagavad Gita, what we are doing in a WhatsApp group, it will be posted over there from chapter one, and it will be just for 10 minutes, and we'll be dividing those bigger lectures into a small pieces, 10 minutes. So it'll be, if anyone have not subscribed, please subscribe. And also you can share that to your friends and relatives, in India and any other places that you have. Please forward this to as many friends you can, so that they all can benefit by hearing just 10 minutes of Bhagavad Gita every day. Shukru, you want to add anything to that?
I think it's good for even youth. If the children can listen to it, it's also very nice, because we have uh, the original idea came from really a parent from youth in your SCON group, So I think he is the one who put this in, and so we have distributed it to the Balwar youth group, and another, and I think Hindu Temple is also doing to their children. So it's a very nice activity, I think, which everybody can benefit, and we can even, it's could be our revision too. So
Yeah, going forward, so far that was not at all an idea when I was doing this one. But then, since now that youth is going to be involved and others, I might try to mellow down, um, and keep it little in a way that where youth can also understand, to whatever limit we can do. Any suggestions or anything to improve the way that we are doing either Bhagavatam class or our daily Bhagavad Gita? Any suggestions or overall any thoughts? Anything more that we can do that we are not doing now? Okay, thank you, Ashok Prabhu.
Prabhu, I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, I think we are
Prabhu, if there is any time, then I have a little quick question.
we still have time. I was expecting someone will ask, make use of this time asking questions. Please go ahead.
Um, Prabhu, so for this Mohini Murti, was there any specific reason why Lord came as Mohini Murti? Like for Narsimha Dev, when he appeared, he has to be in like half lion and half animal, because Brahma gave the boon to Hiranyakashipu that no man or no animal can kill him. So he came like half lion and half human form.
Well, yes, Prabhupada's purports are very nicely in this sections. It gives that people get easily attracted to the illusory energy. People get easily attracted, especially uh, in this matter, the asuras. The whole purpose is to enjoy the life, and ultimately, enjoy life means the extreme in the material world. The highest pleasure that one get is, the union with men and women. Therefore, asuras are very much interested in those things. An easy way to uh, pacify them or attract them, this is what the best way. Rather than Krishna doesn't want to come like Narsimadev and kill all this. That's not the idea. His idea is not kill the asuras, but to solve this problem. So you can see that sometimes this is a very nice point. The side note: for a small thing, we take a big uh, step. Not necessary. So here is an example where we learn that simple thing is to attract them. How do we attract them? Krishna knows where the weak points, what the weak point for these asuras are. So this is the way that he felt would be the best approach to uh, do it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Have you heard anything differently, or have you want to share anything?
No, Prabhu, I just heard. I don't know if that is correct or not, but I also heard that Lord Shiva was also attracted towards Mohini Murti because she was very beautiful.
Yeah, we did cover that today in the class.
Okay, I think I missed that part.
Yeah, yeah, it was. But then you remember, I think Bhavya asked a question whether they got married. But nowhere in Bhagavatam it says that they got married.
Hmm.
Um, but it is one chapter has been dedicated where Lord Shiva has completely got attracted by this particular form. Um, Other than that, there is no any reference or Vedic references in other places where it says.
And what about Lord Ayappa, Prabhu? I am not very
Yeah,
much
so I'm
informed about that,
right,
but
right, right.
Lord Ayappa is also
I
there.
was, yeah, I was trying to keep that away from the discussion, but since you brought this point, since
Sorry,
you brought this,
Prabhu.
yeah, that's fine. Since you brought, I'm well aware of that one. That people have an people say that Lord Ayyappa was born by this combination of Lord Shiva and Mohini Murti, but unfortunately there is no any Vedic evidence or thing where it says so. So there have been research has been done on that, but it's been told, uh, um, it's been told, but then there's no any sort of, they say it's in Skanda Purana and other places, but there's not much of the fact to that one.
Thank you,
So
Prabhu.
it doesn't have a Vedic fact reference, that particular episode story that's been told. Okay, if there's no other questions, please continue doing the Damodar Ashtakam every day, offering a lamp, ghee lamp, if possible, and we'll meet again with
Prabhu,
the.
there is one question in the chat from Greg Prabhu.
Oh, who are Chandalas? Chandalas are not Asuras. Chandala, there are, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says Chatur Varnya Maya Srishtam. That means four classes, four, that is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras. He mentions these four classes, but in reality, the truth is that it's Krishna mentions these four classes, but besides this, there are lower than that also, who are called Chandalas. They don't fall into this one. They are considered to be much more degraded in their practices and behaviors and characters. So those people are called Chandalas. Um, uh, in Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna's uses in the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita is this, um, dog eaters. Samadarshana, there's one place where he says, what is it? Where he says Chandalas, which mean they're lower than any human. They are human, but in the consciousness, they're very low in their thought and the behaviors. They are called Chandalas. But they are not, Asuras are not Chandalas. Okay, if there's no other questions, thank you all very much. You have a wonderful, safe rest of this week. Hare Krishna. Happy Kartik.